feels like we're constantly talking about you, you know, kind of in an England capacity. But I guess you've been very little in that England squad, haven't you, in the last few years? But do you still kind of miss that kind of Six Nations buzz in the week running up to the opening weekend?
Yeah, massively. It's the whole reason why I wanted to play rugby was to have the opportunity to play for England. I feel very fortunate to have had that opportunity and grateful. But the desire is still fully within me. But you know, I feel like I mentioned before, you know, everything is just going to be an experience. So whether it be me getting selected or not, it's like, how can I learn? How can I show the best side of me on the back of this? And for me, that's my performance and what I keep doing. So hopefully the reason why the question might still be there is because I'm still performing of a consistent level. But it's only going to motivate me to play better, because that's exactly sort of where I want to be, and you know, that's a goal of mine to try and reach.
What more do you feel you have to do this season? Because you had some brilliant early season performances to push your way into a starting berth or to get into that 23. Is there certain aspects to your game that need modification, or what has Eddie said to you that, you know, could improve to give you an opportunity of playing in white again?
Yeah, I think he's very diligent in how he speaks to a lot of his wider squad, so he gets in contact and makes sure everyone knows sort of what they do need to do. You know, when he speaks, he's got two great 10s in the squad right now with Owen and George, who both play a different but both an outstanding brand of rugby. So it's only going to have to inspire me to go and play and do more. And I think the parts of my game which, you know, I'd say are good and my strengths, it's almost trying to make those great and trying to make those even better. And luckily I've had a platform at Gloucester with the coaches and the players to be able to do so. And I'm loving my time there to be able to go out and try and represent the club to the best of my ability. And if England comes with that, that would be amazing. But
you must think, with all the chat around you, every time an England squad's announced, you're like, oh, really? You must think that a little bit.
Yeah, perhaps, but it's as long as
it's okay to say it. It's okay to back yourself.
Really
as in I'm not picked or just the chat, because
both, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, you know, it is frustrating, but then how do I react on that, and how do I show resilience? You know, whether you have a good situation or a bad situation, like, how do I keep going out and performing the best I can? That's the only answer I can give, and I'm sure everyone in different work environments has the ups and downs, but it's how can you deliver the best, your best foot forward, and that's all I focus on. Speaking to my mentor, Steve Black, and things like that, and the philosophy that we have behind it, hopefully that is why the question is still being asked, and if at some point I get the opportunity to wear the shirt again, I'll have to do that to the best of my ability.
You talk about resilience, but then there's also a case where sometimes you're not included in squads, and we'd have all suffered this. You're dropped because a coach is trying to send a message or prove a point. But when we look at your involvement with England, it's one cap in 10 years. There's kind of being resilient, and then there must be a case where you think, just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I mean, where are you mentally with that? Are you still firmly pushing and believing that you can still play in that jersey, or are you just kind of like just not being able to kind of cope and deal with the constant disappointment?
I think for me, the way I view it is I have a bigger picture, which is obviously I want to play for England and represent my country. You know, that's the buzz. You know, the opportunity to do that in South Africa just recently in the June Test. That was outstanding for me. Like, it was a great opportunity, and I loved every moment. I loved, you know, integrating into the squad and seeing the motivational levels of different players. But you know, for me, I would be doing Gloucester a disservice if my focus wasn't how well I could lead that team. And you know, I'm still trying to learn the best way to become the best player I can be, or my leadership style, or in any way that I'm trying to drive the team. So for me, my focus is entirely on that. You know, we've got 10 games now to really focus on, and we have an unbelievably talented squad, and I think it's just about belief, and hopefully I can try and instill that within the squad, because they're certainly doing that within me, and that's my focus, because then a byproduct of that would be maybe one day playing for England.